Hello and thank you for watching. Today I want to talk about one of the greatest myths of the American Revolution, and that is that it was a war of independence against Britain. And while that is true, since it was the ultimate outcome of the war, that was not the motivation of the colonists at the beginning of the war. In fact, it did not even become a stated goal until July 1776 with the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That was 14 months after the battles of Lexington and Concord. And while there were a few men, such as Samuel Adams, who wanted independence from the very beginning, there wasn't a whole lot of support for it. During that pre-independence period, or the pre-Declaration of Independence period, whenever resolutions were brought up for independence in the Second Continental Congress, they were resoundingly defeated, sometimes at a 2-to-1 margin. So we see that during that period, there wasn't a whole lot of support. Independence was not a goal. But yet a war was being fought. There were 19 military engagements during that same period. These were on land and on sea. They involved tens of thousands of combatants in several colonies, and also ranged from Canada up in the north all the way down to Barbados in the south. Again, tens of thousands of people were lining up in columns and killing each other. Why? I mean, why were they doing this? 2,500 casualties occurred during that period. So if they weren't fighting for independence, what is it they were fighting for? That's an important question to understand at this time. Our country is at a pivotal period in its history. And it's not only the history of our country, it's not only what's happening in our country, it's what's happening around the world. And until we understand that the American Revolution was something more than just a war of independence, that simple answer that we are taught in school is not enough. It just doesn't satisfy. It doesn't explain. It doesn't explain that period of 14 months when over and over again colonists said no to independence. But yet we're going to fight. We're going to pick up arms. We're going to pick up arms against the mightiest empire in the world, the mightiest power. We're going to pick up arms against people who we considered our countrymen just a few short years before. We're going to pick up arms against a sovereign who we considered ourselves loyal subjects of. Need to remember that men like George Washington fought alongside British soldiers as the head of the Virginia militia against the French in the French and Indian War. Now, in 1776, he's out fighting against what were his fellow brothers in arms. We need to understand what was the reason these people were fighting for. What was it that they were fighting for? And that will be the subject of following videos. But if you want to know more, I highly recommend you check out the website www.libertyinherited.com, or better yet, check out my book, Liberty Inherited: The Untold Story of America's Exceptionalism. This book is available at Amazon.com, at the website I cited before, and at booksellers across the country. So please check it out. I believe it will be well worth your reading. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.